from the Bleachers, broadcasting live here on the Fan Sports Network. Caden Formaster and Mark Musgrave.
The voice you know.
Oh, boy, Mark. It has been too long.
It's been a long time since we've been in studio.
Oh, my gosh. It's been way too long. It's been so long that we're trying to hop into all of it again, right? We got radio going. We got YouTube going. And in YouTube, I just looked and I'm like, we don't even have the right date of what today's stream is. So let's make it the right day.
I thought you did.
I had it as the 9th, and the 9th was a long time ago. Today's the 22nd, so I got to change that to the 22nd.
On the link, it actually had 5/22.
Yeah, the link was correct. But nothing else was correct.
I see what you're looking at now.
Yeah, we're good now. We're good. Well, we welcome you in, everybody. Man, seriously, it's been a while. We haven't done a show since Friday of last week, I guess. Well, Thursday of last week, because Friday was baseball.
Friday, we had the Super Regionals at Desert Hills, Cedar City at Desert Hills, where Desert Hills ended up winning that Super Regional, and we're going way back in the archives. And then state baseball started a week ago today.
Yeah,
the bracket play.
That's right. Leal, does it feel like last Monday we were sitting at BYU? And we were only about halfway through our second game of baseball.
I was going to say we're probably only into the second game because we were there until, oh my goodness, 10:30, 11 o'clock that night?
Yeah, it was about 11 o'clock every night at BYU. Yeah,
because we got started a little bit later because BYU baseball, they had scheduled practices those days.
Yep.
And so the tournament couldn't start as early as I think we would have liked it to, but it would get going. What time did it get going? About each day? About 11?
At BYU. So BYU was 12:30.
Oh yeah, 12:30. That's right.
So we were 12:30.
I'm still tired.
I know, right? It was 12:30, 3, 5:30, and 8.
And those were the scheduled.
Start times. There was one day the 5:30 game started at 6:30.
Yeah.
Because we were just that far behind.
Yeah.
We had one game that just went long. And that's the nature of it all. That's how it goes.
That was that Bear River Desert Hills game.
Yeah, I think
11 to 10 went full 7 innings.
That's right. And it could have even gone longer.
Man.
It was right there. It could have gone longer.
Bases were loaded for Desert Hills. Bases were loaded. 2 outs, 11 to 10. The tying run was on third. The winning run was on second. And here we are. They had to go home about 30 minutes after that.
They went home. That is the case.
Oh, my gosh. What a great baseball season, though. And we're going to talk a lot of baseball this hour. Coming up, we have the back-to-back state baseball champions coming in studio. Just a select few of them. We couldn't get all of them in here. We don't have that much time and that much space, but we certainly wanted to get a few of them in here, talk about their experience through region play, their experience during the state baseball tournament. And well, we can talk about basketball if they want to, but talk about their state baseball tournament. And then obviously the 2 championship games against Snow Canyon.
Yeah, it was, it was a good time. I think both you and I really enjoyed this weekend. We both had a lot of fun, and we're ready for the break.
Well, it's like we, on our group chat, our Region 10 group chat here at Canyon Media, our general manager, Ben, just said, hey, great job, guys, up there. And we just said, hey, long days, but definitely worth it. I mean, they were long days, but it was awesome.
It was long days. It was definitely worth it. I know that for both you and I, again, yes, long days, right? That's not a question. But I think by the end of it, it was just, we were just like, man, you know what? That was fun. Really, that's what it came down to. Is we're like, that was a fun week. And, big shout out to everyone who kind of helped us do our thing. So, of course, you and I were there. Big shout out to Devin Dixon for being a part of it. We had Dusty Allen, who helped with the video production side of it. Cannon Sechrist, who was running some cameras for us. Rory Brosnan, who powered his way through here in the studio every single game. I mean, he's a trooper too.
Those had to have been long days for Rory.
I can't imagine.
At least we're at the ballpark.
Yeah, we're
out
at the
there.
ballpark, and we had, we got a break every so often to be able to go sit down and enjoy a hot dog or whatever.
Dude,
he was locked in the studio.
He did power through it. Nice job, Rory.
He definitely deserves a pat on the back for that.
And then also shout out to both campuses, both BYU and UVU. They have beautiful ballparks up there.
Both of them have great ballparks, yes.
Those facilities are top notch. Both fields, turf fields, and they both have the Wasatch Mountains, as their backdrop.
Yeah.
The one thing I loved about BYU is it has the Y up there, and you were really close to the mountains.
Yeah.
UVU, you're a little farther away, but the thing I loved about UVU, and I mentioned it on our broadcast a couple of times, is the double flags, the double American flags.
Yeah.
You had the center field flag for the ballpark, and then across the street, I mean, it wasn't a long ways away, but it was across the street, over a little bit.
It's over at a Toyota dealership.
Is that where it is?
Yeah,
is that what it was?
It was over at the Toyota dealership.
Huge American flag, and it was like placed right behind almost.
Yeah, it's like for our viewers at home, it was like that.
Yeah,
it was just right, one right next to each other, one right behind each other. But it was great for us because when we're locked in a booth, we don't know wind direction. You can't really tell unless there's some sort of an indicator. And that flag's always a good indicator. So we definitely used it to our advantage, at least, to know, all right, which way is the wind blowing for these guys? Is it helping them? Is it hindering them?
It was a lot of fun.
And I would say 9 times out of 10, it was actually helping them out.
And the UHSAA, they ordered up some of the best baseball weather anybody could ask for.
Yeah, that's very true.
What was it most of the time? Mid to upper 70s?
I would say that the hottest it ever got was high 70s. But there was one day where it was like a high of 72.
And there was also one day, I think it was Thursday. It did get a little windy
rainy.
And a little windy.
Yeah. And and by rainy, I mean it was rainy for a minute.
Yeah.
It was just like something just decided a little storm cell passed right on through. It rained pretty good for a bit, just long enough to make everybody head under the canopy.
Right, I do remember that.
And then as soon as everyone got up there, the rain stopped the rest of the day.
Yeah. And it was a little windy on that Thursday.
It was windy.
Most of the time, it was just a little bit of a breeze, which was absolutely perfect. But that one day was kind of windy off and on throughout that day.
Yeah.
But other than that, absolutely perfect. Thank you, UHSAA, for delivering that weather.
Absolutely. And talking to some of the people that just work at the facilities, I know, over at UVU, we were there for what? We were there from Wednesday through Saturday. And even by Thursday, you have people that are like, hey, back here again. Like they recognize us as being guys that are kind of working the show as well.
Yeah.
And by Saturday, it's, hey, Steve, how are you? I'm doing good. I mean, so the guys at the facility were really good too. So
it was tremendous up there.
Yeah, we had a good time. We got treated well. The fans, I think, for the most part as well, were treated pretty well with some nice weather. So that always helps. But it was great.
And the tournament went chalk. We had the top 2 teams left, the number 1 seed in Snow Canyon, the number 2 seed Crimson Cliffs. That it was well documented that, the RPI did have Snow Canyon at number 1. I had expressed my thoughts that, the eye test to me was Crimson was the best team in 4A, and it turned out to be that way. And let's not forget about the Dixie Flyers. They were the number 3 seed, and they finished 3rd. They were the last Region 10 team to get knocked out by Crimson Cliffs. So, the top 3 teams, Snow Canyon, Crimson, and Dixie, were the last 3 teams standing. Dixie gets exited by Crimson Cliffs. And then everything is wiped clean. Then it's a 3-game series between Snow Canyon and Crimson. Crimson takes the first 2, and it really wasn't even close.
No, it wasn't. It was a no-hitter.
Yeah.
The final game was a no-hitter.
Combined no-hitter between Bo Sampson and Aaron Morris, and Aaron will have in studio in just a little bit. But yeah, just tremendous.
Now, I pulled something up because I was curious, and I couldn't remember how close they actually were between Snow Canyon and Crimson Cliffs, between the 1-2 spot.
Sure.
It's 0.01 is the difference.
Oh, really?
In the RPI percentages.
Right.
To put that into perspective, Dixie away from Crimson Cliffs. Now, all of them are going to be fairly close, right?
Sure.
Dixie is 0.05 away from Crimson at the number 2 spot, 2 and 3. So it's 0.01 away from the 1-2, 0.05 away from 2 to 3.
Man.
And then Mountain Crest obviously behind Dixie. They were a 0.03 behind Dixie. So, I mean, 0.02, 0.03, like that's kind of your average. So the fact that it was 0.1 away, that's as close as you can really get without a win separating it. So right. if both those teams went one more game and Snow Canyon lost and Crimson wins, they're flip-flopping.
Right.
You know? So it was close. Crimson being the 2 seed. And here's the thing, Crimson lost game 1
right.
to Green Canyon. And it was a decent Green Canyon team. I think they had a lot of heart in them. I think that was part of it, right? They came in and played with a lot of momentum. They played as a team really well. And Crimson was just struggling to hit the ball just a little bit.
Right.
Just a little bit. Green Canyon goes and gets that win. And then from there on, it was like Crimson just foot on the gas, and they were just speeding their way through the bracket. I mean, every single game was just a no-doubt win, it seemed like, for Crimson.
Well, we've got them in the building. They are ready to talk to us about their run. Should we take a break and come back with them?
Let's do it. Let's take a break, and then when we come back, we'll have the team in studio with us. So stick around with us here on From the Bleachers.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in Southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Media is everywhere. It's a part of our daily life, our routine, not just for entertainment, but to stay informed. Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, we believe in delivering free, fast, and accurate local news, entertainment, and information to all of Southern Utah through our entertaining on-air personalities and music, compelling local shows, and community events like the City of St. George 4th of July celebration and charitable events like Coney Corns for Kids. From our entire team of dedicated designers, videographers, salespeople, digital marketers, writers, and on-air talent, thank you for letting us be a part of your daily life. Canyon Media, here for you.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Hey, it's Caden Formaster.
And Mark Musgrave, the voice you know with the Fan Sports Network.
Check out our local sports radio show, From the Bleachers, live every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Listen to us on the radio on 99.5 or 95.3 FM.
You can also listen through the Fan Sports Network app or watch the show live on the Fan Sports Network YouTube page.
The Fan Sports Network is your home of Utah Tech Trailblazers, high school sports, and the pros.
The Fan Sports Network, Southern Utah's home for local sports.
Welcome back in, everybody. It's From the Bleachers here on the Fan Sports Network. It's Mark Musgrave and Caden Formaster. Mark Musgrave.
The voice, you know.
There you go.
You kind of messed me up a little bit. Yeah, you did.
Well, we got a bunch of guys in the studio with us, and so we're still off our game from being gone all week, but who's not off their game are these guys.
Yeah.
These guys are at the top of their game right now.
They were certainly on their game Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you were on your game.
Tuesday through.
We'll talk about Monday in a little bit. We're not going to let you guys forget that, but you guys were definitely on your game Tuesday through Saturday. So
Yeah, they were. Well, we have the state champion. Well, some of the state champion for a baseball, Crimson Cliffs Mustangs, with us.
Yes.
So,
back to back.
I know, back to back champ. How's it feel, guys? Who wants to hop on the mic first?
Let's get PD on over here.
Okay, PD, hop on over here,
and then we'll get Aaron on this one as well.
All right. Two guys on the mic.
Yeah.
PD, Aaron, both of you guys. Great tournament, of course. PD, let's go with you. How's it feel, back to back state championships?
Oh my God! You can ask anyone this. It feels amazing, like back to back. It's hard to do,
Now, as you guys come up to the mic too, I want you guys to tell us where you are playing next level baseball. PD, where are you going?
Utah Tech.
Not too far, huh?
Rosers, yeah. Staying in town, close to family, close to my fans.
Yeah.
Close to Mark.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I'll be there. I'll be there for sure. And you've got a teammate here right next to you.
Aaron. Yep.
Yeah, Aaron. Now, last time you were in here, you were going somewhere else.
Yeah, I was going out to California at Cal State Monterey Bay.
And I was so excited for you because there are some gorgeous golf courses out that way. I was so excited for you, Aaron. Mm-hmm. But I'm even more excited now, even selfishly, now I get to watch you play a little bit longer.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people have told me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be excited about that. Hey, I want to ask PD a question real quick. PD, how did it feel hitting that triple in the championship game?
Oh, it was sick, especially being my last at bat. Wasn't as good as Brexton's being a home run, but
we'll get to Brexton a little bit. Yeah,
it felt good hitting that triple.
The celebration was good. Hey, tell me where the hammer came from.
Coach Boyer.
Coach Boyer.
Boyer saw a video, I think, on social media.
What was our first one at the beginning of the season?
Our wave.
Yeah.
First kept it from last season. Then.
So you were gonna just wave.
Last year we had the wave.
Last year we had the wave, and we kept that for a little bit, and then Boyer wanted to change it up, and then he found the hammer video.
Yeah. So what it is for our listeners and our viewers is if you got a double or a triple or whatever, they would act like they're swinging a hammer, and then the guys on the bench would all kind of boom all at the same time. Mm-hmm. Kind of fun. Is any other sport as fun as baseball? Now, are there any multi-sport players in here? No football players?
Like real sport or like
real, yeah. Yeah,
soccer?
Used to be. Soccer's not a real sport. Good try, Petey. No, but there's really nothing more fun than baseball, right?
Oh, yeah.
The antics in the dugout, right?
Mm-hmm. I think that's probably one of the funnest part that we can we can bond in the dugout and we can have fun and keep it like on ourselves and cheer on our players in our own way.
How do you guys handle all of those personalities in one dugout together to be able to just come together and say, hey, we're here for one purpose? Do you guys ever just have to try to like smack people around and say, hey, get in line, you're just be part of the team, or do you guys mesh pretty well?
I feel like, a little bit, yeah. Like maybe some people just aren't focused all the time, but at the end of the day, we all have the same goal to compete, win, and go out and win the state championship like we did.
Yeah, because that's obviously going to be a big part of winning a championship is making sure that the mentality's there, and that's always a big part of it. You guys have won 2 in a row, so the culture's built. You guys have it locked and loaded.
So, Aaron, as a pitcher, and Javen, I'll talk to you in a minute too as a pitcher, but talk to me about this lineup that you don't have to face. Okay, let me just kind of go over some of these numbers. McKay Wright, 463 average. Petey Soto Jr., 500. 500. My hell. Jager Baldwin, 419.
Dog.
Brexton Stardy, 465.
Dog.
Tate Maynard, 313. Steele Barbin, not as big of sample size, but still 417. Let's see, scroll down here a little bit. There's a Ty West, 422. Ty Evans, against a small sample size, but you know that he is a great hitter. He batted .412 pretty much just in the tournament. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So tremendous state tournament for Ty Evans, or for Trey Evans. Thank you. And then Ty Maynard batting .427. Aaron, are you glad you didn't have to face this lineup?
So I might not have ever faced them in a real game, but I faced them every week in live at bats, and I couldn't get this one out. And if I did get him out, it was probably 100 miles an hour off the bat, line drive to center.
Yeah.
It's tough. Like, facing them every week, it definitely got me better, just throwing to competitive pitches to competitive batters that, would put the ball in play instead of just taking.
So you had a .20 ERA. That's 0.20 ERA for our listeners and our viewers. Would you have had that ERA if you were at Snow Canyon, Desert Hills, Pine View, facing this team?
I don't think so, because I also wouldn't have had the defense that we had. I would have had Brexton, Ty behind the plate, defense. Jager, Tyler in the outfield, and PD at short. Like, I wouldn't have had the support behind me to.
But you know what?
Get that.
I think you would have had a very similar ERA because you went up against some really good hitting teams. Snow Canyon, they were no slouch when it came to hitting the ball. Mm-hmm. I mean, their team average, I think, was close to 400.
It's pretty close, yeah.
And so that was their team average. You guys were a little bit above them, but not by much. Mm-hmm. Dixie had a great hitting team. Desert Hills was pretty good as well. I mean, you faced some really good hitters. And let me just throw this out here. So these are Aaron's numbers, and this is why he's going to stay here as a Trailblazer. He was 6-0 this year. He had 12 appearances, 1 save, and like I said, a .20 ERA. That is tremendous. That's Cy Youngish, Aaron Morris.
It's up there. That's
Cy
up there.
Youngish.
Let's talk about, and we got the clip of it pulled up, the last out that led you guys to a state championship. So let you take a look up here, and then we have our viewers on YouTube that are able to watch it as well. Here's that final pitch, grounder to third. Tell me what that feeling's like, guys.
Chills.
Yes.
You can see me.
Everyone dogpiles. Who's on the bottom there? Who had to get
hopefully it wasn't
Brex.
I was gonna say, hopefully it wasn't Javen in that left arm. We got to protect that thing.
If you roll,
I was somewhere in the middle.
No, if you roll that clip back, you can see me get absolutely demolished by the hole. I got cleated actually. My foot was swollen.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's rough.
Now, Petey, before you step away from the mic, and then we'll get Jager, Javen, and Brexton on. So Petey, this is you, okay? 500 batting average. You had 42 hits, 41 runs, 29 RBIs, 14 doubles, 2 triples, and 3 dingers. What? I'm going to go a little personal here with you, okay? What would your dad say about those numbers?
He said it's not good enough.
That's a true dad and a true coach, right?
If you know my dad, you know.
Yes. Yeah. But he would have been awfully proud, though.
He would have definitely been
absolutely. Petey, you are Devin and I and Caden. We all three have talked amongst our broadcasts and things that we think that you are the smoothest shortstop that we've seen in Region 9, Region 10 for a very long time. And that doesn't go unnoticed because we've had a lot of good
ones.
Shortstops. In fact, the older brother to this guy right here, Aaron Morris. So, I mean, there's been some great shortstops here in Region 9, Region 10. And just to be in that conversation, true compliment to you, sir.
That's why his nickname's El Suave.
That's it.
The nickname of El Suave.
Yeah, Javen says his nickname's El Suave. Hey, Jager, hop on here. And Javen, you hop on here as well. Jager, you had several of our Morgan Pest Control player of the game. In fact, we've got one right here.
Let's pull it up here. And I think you already know which one we're talking about. The diving catch.
With the shoulder.
Yeah.
With the bum shoulder. Yeah.
So, Jager, as you're running towards that foul line, what's going through your head? Or
at this point, I knew that I was going to be close to the fence, but I didn't know how far I had. And at the point, when it was falling, I knew I had to dive, and I was just hoping the fence wasn't there.
Yeah, because that was going to be a fair ball, too.
Yeah.
That was going to land fair. That would have been a double, maybe even a triple for Yates. Yates has good speed, so that very well could have been extra bases for sure, and that could have changed the dynamics of that game.
Yeah, I'll do anything for this team, and I'll lay my life on the line for them.
So I've seen a lot more than this, but I've seen 3 magnificent catches from Jager Baldwin. The first one was last year, extra inning game against Desert Hills. You took a home run back. You took it. It was over the wall. Brought it there.
Yeah,
brought it back.
It was a good one.
And then this catch that we just showed, and then you had a great catch in the championship game, sliding in.
Yeah, I do work on my defense a lot, and I swear it's the glove that I have right now.
But you don't practice diving, do you?
No, not really. Just getting jump on balls. And,
yeah.
Natural.
Yeah, that's instincts. Yeah,
it's crazy.
His outfield coach must have been tremendous.
Mark?
Tremendous.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Yeah, no, he was. I talked Jager the Crow Hop, bro.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice.
So tell us about your shoulder. Tell us how it happened. You're going head first slide into third base. How's your shoulder right now?
It's gotten a ton better since Monday. I can finally move it a lot better, but still not at full range of motion. But yeah, so my first at bat, I got walked, and then I got caught trying to steal third, and that's when I slid too hard into the third, and I think I just jammed it back and overly stretched my bicep ligament. And yeah, throughout the week it was just bugging me, and every time I would swing it would pop. So my dad finally went to Dick's first to get me a brace, and then he got me I forgot what it was called, but some horse numbing.
Watch the F words, okay?
Yeah, sorry. Some horse numbing cream that you rub on it, and it just numbs it. So that was a lifesaver.
Yeah.
So I noticed too, and I think the whole world that was watching noticed that you didn't have a full range on the swing, but you were getting things into play, and you were getting yourself on first. I mean, you still were getting it done. How did that feel mentally to be able to get up there and just say, "Hey, I just got to get on base for my team," and you accomplished that?
Yeah. It gave me a lot of confidence that even when I don't have full potential, I could still find holes. I knew after that I wouldn't have power to burn the defenses, so I just tried to find holes and get on base for my teammates.
It definitely worked.
It worked. You got
definitely
on.
Worked. So here's Jager's numbers: 419, 23 RBI, had 36 hits, 37 runs scored. My goodness, I'm seeing a common factor here. You guys get as many hits and then you score runs. That's amazing. 10 doubles. You had 1 home run.
Mm-hmm.
Where was that at?
It was here against Cedar.
Oh, against Cedar.
Yeah, it was close to being foul. I was just running down the first baseline hoping it would stay fair.
Nice. Very nice.
That happens.
Anyways, Jager, great season. And there's plays that you've made that we'll never forget.
Oh,
absolutely. Seriously.
Absolutely.
So, thank you.
Javen, while you're on the mic here.
And by the way, you're going to Slick, right?
Yeah, Salt Lake Community College.
Yeah, Salt Lake Community College.
You got a few guys going there, right?
Javen
as well.
Where are you going?
Series.
Salt Lake Community College.
Salt Lake Community College, baby.
Can't leave the fellow Bruin hanging there.
That's right.
So let's talk about this. You hopped on the mound game 1.
Yeah.
Now you were pitching just some dirty stuff, man. It was all over the place in a great way. I want to talk about your command for a little bit here. When did that really start to come into your game? At what point in your baseball career were you like, hey, I got a pretty good off-speed pitch here?
Shout out Mike Gargano, my pitching coach. He's been my pitching coach since I was about 13, 14 years old, and he taught me almost everything I know, him and Coach Abbott. I never really was a power pitcher. I didn't have as much velocity, so I kind of had to figure out how to pitch around guys, how to figure out how to put balls in the zone and command my off speed as well.
But you became a power pitcher, and I think that a lot of that too, you got your growth spurt. Yep. You became a young man as opposed to a 12 and 13-year-old. And what was your velocity topping out at this year?
I think I hit 89 against Copper Hills.
89.
And
let's just say 90.
Yeah, sure. I guess 90 doesn't count until you hit over 90.
all right. We'll keep it at 89. I respect that.
But I think the transition of just learning how to command my stuff early in my career helped transfer and just make it a little bit easier as I've grown. And I think that's a big part of my game, just being able to hit spots when I want to. This guy calling pitches, mine and his chemistry is just through the roof.
Yeah. Now, how important is it to have a guy behind the dish that you can trust? What does that mean to you as a pitcher?
It's if I spike a fastball, he's going to block it. If I spike a curveball, he's going to block it. Not much gets past that guy. I think he had 1,000 fielding percentage this year. Yeah. Yeah, he's a dog. So
yeah,
just having that trust. He catches me every single game. We catch bullpens on the weekends and live at bats. It's just a lot of hard work put in together, and we make it show out on the field.
And I've noticed you spell dog DAWG, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I saw that over there.
No house dogs.
No house dogs.
I will say there's one point during the game when you were up there, the championship game, and I don't remember which at bat, and I'm sure you probably don't either. There's a million of them, but you went fastball for 2 quick strikes, and then got him with the changeup on the last one. I was just like, oh, that was smooth. There's something about it that I was just like, that was really good.
Okay,
so it was impressive, man. It's impressive.
So tell me this, Jave. I want to ask you this.
Okay.
What's more fulfilling, or just more like stick it to you, throwing a high fastball, swing and a miss, or an off-speed pitch out on their front foot, swing and a miss, and make them look a little silly? What one would you rather prefer to see?
I think I'd rather get that sword, to be honest. It's kind of a mix, though. You get the off-speed. When you throw an off-speed pitch for a strike, it just feels great.
Yeah.
But when you can blow it by him, that feels great too.
Yeah, it does.
Either one.
Little
No
adrenaline,
complaints.
little adrenaline rush too, for sure. Well, Jave, you big Southpaw, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you.
And good luck to you as you go on to the next level of baseball too. Just a new chapter, right?
New chapter.
New chapter.
Yep.
You guys, as baseball, we're not done yet with Mr. Stardy here, but you guys have your baseball banquet tomorrow?
Tomorrow night.
That's going to be a fun banquet, right?
Yes, sir.
Oh, boy.
Bring the trophy along with
awesome.
you for sure, right?
That's awesome. Let's get the big dog in here.
Man, I get singled out.
Yeah, you get singled out. So, Brex, let's go ahead and roll this big dog's hit here.
All right, here we go. I know you guys can't hear it, but for our listeners.
You got to just give him credit. Charlie, this one is going to go back and fly out of the yard, up on the berm.
That was a shot. Man.
Thank you.
The only thing that I have to say about that is that wasn't as long as your other one.
No,
your other one was longer, about hit some people up at the chain link.
That was a curveball, though. The other one was a fastball. So
yeah.
That helps a little.
Yeah. How'd it feel, though, hitting number 2? Because you had to be in the zone a little bit, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. It was my last high school at bat. I honestly couldn't ask for anything better than that.
What was more exciting, the first home run or the second home run?
Definitely the first one. I mean, Coden, in the regular season, I went 0 for 3 with 3 Ks off him. So, I mean, I wanted something. And get that on a full count, too. I mean, it was awesome.
And you guys, your first 2 games against Snow Canyon during region play, you both went 1-1, both winning 1-0.
Yeah.
What made these games different than those region games?
I mean, what we went through to get to play Snow Canyon again, I mean, I think we never had any doubts in anyone. And, I mean, we just had to work. We had our backs to the wall. I mean, if we lost one more game, we were gone. So, I mean, just getting there and the momentum and the chemistry we had with each other, I mean, we just had it.
So talk to us a little bit about the journey of this team. You mentioned, you lost in that first round to Green Canyon. What was it like, in those meetings with the coaches, maybe even just like when you go to a mound visit? What are some of those conversations like, knowing kind of in the back of your mind, hey, we got to win this one?
I mean, honestly, we didn't really talk about it. I think we just all had faith in one another. I mean, we just trusted that we each would get our jobs done. I mean, it was our last year together, and we just knew we had to get it done. So, I mean, we just all bared down and competed and found a way to win.
Brex, your bat speed is incredible. Has anybody from UVU contacted you since Saturday?
No, they have not.
I cannot believe the recruiter there, as a Wolverine, has not contacted you to try to talk you out of going to CSI, College of Southern Idaho.
Rivals of these guys, too.
Yeah, rival to some of your teammates, to go to UVU.
Yeah, I mean...
You like that?
I do.
That facility.
It's nice. I would love to go there. It's a 2-year school. Just let me know.
Now, we asked kind of some players this off of the record just because we were curious. Going to BYU and UVU, both of them are full turf fields.
Yeah.
What's it like as a player to experience a full turf field?
Honestly, because we actually changed our mound and our home plate from grass to turf this year, and I thought I was going to hate it, but I ended up liking it a lot more. The hops you're never going to get a bad hop. It's honestly a lot easier on my knees, too, when I'm catching, and I mean, I like it a lot. CSI's field is actually all turf, too, so I mean, I actually really like all turf. I didn't think I would, but it's nice.
Did any of you guys try that cougar tail when you were at BYU? That big maple bar? Petey said he did. I thought it was overrated, personally.
It was so good.
Oh, Petey doesn't. Petey liked it. So.
Well, it was actually Derek, one of our catcher.
Yeah, catcher's coach.
Yeah.
He didn't finish it, so I'm like, I'll just finish it for you.
Yeah.
Aaron. I have it. Never mind.
All right, Petey had it. I thought it was overrated. I don't know, just a maple bar. I thought it was overrated.
It's a large maple bar.
Just a big maple bar.
Finish the whole thing.
No,
I just had a bite. We had one
shared one amongst a lot of us, but it was fine. It's too much hype. Too much hype.
It's just good marketing.
So, exactly. That's right. So this is what happened. So Crimson, you guys played Green Canyon. That was your first game, 5-1.
Yep.
You lost 2, so you dropped down into the lower bracket, and then you beat Ridgeline 8-1.
Yep.
Then you played Green Canyon, beat them 11-1.
Yeah.
First game against Dixie, 11-5. Second game a little closer, 4-2.
Yep.
Any thoughts in that game? Like, oh my gosh, are we gonna?
I mean,
because one more loss, Javen, and you're gone.
Yeah, but I think we all had enough confidence in each other we could pull it off. Like, our pitching staff was really deep this year, and that obviously the batting average, you guys can see that. So I thought some way we were gonna pull it off. We'd make it happen.
Which you did. Game 1 against Snow Canyon, 9-2. Came back the next day, 13-0 behind a combined no-hitter with Bo Sampson and Aaron Morris. Incredible. Javen, what are your thoughts, since you're on that pitching staff, what were your thoughts when Bo gave up the ball, has a no-hitter going, to this guy right here, Aaron Morris?
Just a selfless guy, letting him close his last game out, getting that was his third, his third combined? Fourth combined?
Yeah,
third combined no-hitter. First one with Bo.
Yeah.
So I think he's just a selfless guy.
How many no-hitters did you have?
This year,
the combined because you guys had one as well, right?
I had
2?
2 with Aaron. I had 4 this year.
You had 4?
Yes, sir.
DAWG, dog. Man. God, I love lefties.
Yeah, those lefties.
I do love lefties. That's awesome.
Yeah, Aaron had 4 no-hitters too. Dog.
Yeah, dog.
Yeah.
Incredible. Dude, when you have to count your no-hitters up in your head, that means you're pretty good.
Dude, come on, let's be honest. If you only had one, you're like, I had 1 no-hitter.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to be, all right, well, there's that game and then that game. Oh, and I forgot about that one, but that counts.
Oh, my gosh.
That's crazy.
Well, you guys,
great season.
Congratulations on a great region. Congratulations on that state run. Tremendous watching you guys. You guys know that you are some of my favorite baseball players in Southern Utah, and if not, America.
All over the world.
That's great.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
Thanks for joining us, guys. We're going to head to a break and be back with more, so stick around here on From the Bleachers.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Media is everywhere. It's a part of our daily life, our routine, not just for entertainment, but to stay informed. Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, we believe in delivering free, fast, and accurate local news, entertainment, and information to all of Southern Utah through our entertaining on-air personalities and music, compelling local shows, and community events like the City of St. George 4th of July celebration and charitable events like Coney Coins for Kids. From our entire team of dedicated designers, videographers, salespeople, digital marketers, writers, and on-air talent, thank you for letting us be a part of your daily life. Canyon Media, here for you.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Hey, it's Caden Formaster.
And Mark Musgrave, the voice you know with the Fan Sports Network.
Check out our local sports radio show From the Bleachers live every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Listen to us on the radio on 99.5 or 95.3 FM.
You can also listen through the Fan Sports Network app or watch the show live on the Fan Sports Network YouTube page.
The Fan Sports Network is your home of Utah Tech Trailblazers, high school sports, and the pros.
The Fan Sports Network, Southern Utah's home for local sports. Welcome back in, everybody. It's From the Bleachers. Caden Formaster, Mark Musgrave.
The voice you know.
Man, that was fun having those guys in studio, wasn't it?
It really is. And we've had some of them in before, talking to them about where they are going to play next level baseball and things like that, when they had those special announcements. But yeah, to have them all in here, the ones that we had, and I wish we could have had more. I wish we could have had Bo here. I wish we could have had Trey Evans. I wish we could have had the Maynard twins, Ty and Tate. I wish we could have had everybody in here, but we just don't have that much space, and we just don't have that much time.
I know. If we had the space, if we had the time, we'd do a full-blown, 60-minute feature or something like that.
Yes, exactly. But, yeah, it is fun to have them in here, and we've got some other state champions coming in tomorrow. We've got the Pineview Lady Panthers golf team coming in tomorrow to share their experience. We would have had them in last week, but since we were at state baseball all week long, obviously we couldn't. So they were nice enough to kind of hold off and come in tomorrow to talk about their experience because they won state like a week and a half ago.
Right. Just recently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, it'll be really exciting to have them in. Obviously, very exciting to have the Mustangs in, state champions. Can we just real quick go over all of the state championships that have been won in Southern Utah?
Absolutely.
Just in the spring sports.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I mean, we might have to do a show where we go over all of them across the entire year.
Right.
The last season, now that we're heading into the off season. But let's just look at this year so far. So we've had, and I'm trying to just do this off the top of my head. See how well I do. Crimson Cliffs wins baseball.
Yes.
There's one for 4A. You have Desert Hills and Snow Canyon for both boys and girls track. Snow Canyon boys, they repeat as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then Desert Hills girls,
yep.
they win for track as well. Dixie Tennis.
Dixie boys tennis, yep.
Dixie Tennis wins. By the way, in singles, there in not as a team, singles and doubles, there's a whole bunch from Southern Utah. A few from Crimson and I believe Dixie, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
So those were wins as well. Golf, Pineview wins girls golf.
Okay, yep.
Correct. In singles, the girl from Crimson Cliffs, she won.
Yeah.
With the best score for singles in golf.
And that was just pulling her name up here real quick.
I know it's on the tip of my tongue. I want to say is
Kate. Shoot, her name is Kate, but yeah, well, I'll get her last. I have her first name here written down, but yeah.
So there's that. Shout out to Kanab, won as well in baseball for 2A. Enterprise won for softball in 2A. So shout out to some of the smaller 2A programs that are also Southern Utah within reach of our broadcast here today.
Now, these are just champions. These are the second places. I mean, we had several second places. We're not going to go over those, but
no, because we'd be here all day still.
But my goodness, man,
and that's just the champions from Southern Utah in spring sports. And maybe you could say part of it's the weather, and maybe it is. Maybe the weather does play factor into it.
Where we're a little bit better in spring sports.
We just get really good weather for spring sports, but I feel like in some ways that's a cop-out. I think we're just good.
Because I do too. but spring sports really are our specialty. And you know what? I think you've got a good point there, Kate. And I think climate does come into play. Our boys down here and our girls down here, they can play softball, baseball literally year-round. I mean, they don't have to take breaks. So with club teams, high school teams, they get so much more field time than the teams Cedar City on up.
Yeah.
I mean, I think climate does come into play with spring sports because they're all outdoor sports. And we can play tennis year round. We can play softball, baseball, like I'd mentioned. We can run year round. We don't have to worry about going up ice, snow, all that kind of stuff. So even our athletes, our track athletes, can practice more than other schools.
Yeah, well, I'll say, when I ran track in high school, I was up in Enterprise, and it does snow there, and I was a distance runner. So for me, distance running is you're running around the halls of the school. That's really what it would be. My coach would just set a timer and just be like, all right, you just need to get used to running without stopping. So go run around the halls and don't stop till I tell you to stop.
Right.
Right. That was a lot of our practices when it was snowy outside, because you can't go run in the snow and the ice. It's a liability. They're not going to let the kids do that. And I know for sprints, a lot of times for sprints, it was the same thing. You go down a big old stretch of hallway, and it was, all right, we're doing sprints down the hallway because that's all we can do.
Yeah.
But you don't get to practice in your spikes. You don't get to, it's like there's a lot of it you are missing out on. So it can factor in for sure. But I think having these schools in Southern Utah here, especially in the St. George area, they're a little spoiled, I think, when it comes to spring sports. They get to jump on it a little bit. Now, we'll see what happens next year. Moving to Region 9.
Yeah.
I mean, really, hey, we're officially Region 9 now. Region 10 sports are done.
Technically, I think you're probably right.
We are now back to Region 9, and it's going to be different. There's a lot more schools that are hopping into the 4A system, and it's going to be a big change now. And I shouldn't say too big of a change, just because it's happened before. This isn't like it's something new, but high school has a very high turnover rate of athletes. They're only there for 3 or 4 years. So these guys don't really know any different. They're just moving straight into, hey, we have to jump into competing at a state level against more than the 12 other schools in 4A. There's going to be a lot more than 12 now.
Okay, so this is the new alignment for football. Okay. So 4A in Region 8, These are the teams that are going to join us in 4A. Mountain View, Payson, Provo, Salem Hills, Spanish Fork, Timpanogos, and Uinta. There's Region 8. We're going to skip Region 9. That's going to be us, and I'll go over that here in a minute. But
now that's, by the way, specifically for football.
This is for football, yes, and there is a difference.
There's a difference, yes.
And we'll go over that here in just a minute, too. Do you have these pulled up, Caden?
Yes, I do.
Why don't you go Region 10?
So Region 10, and again,
the new Region 10.
For football, this is the new Region 10, is Cottonwood, Hillcrest, Jordan, Murray, Park City, Stansbury, and Tooele.
Mm-hmm. Those will be joining us.
That's a tough football conference.
You know what?
Tough football division.
It's nice. We've had Park City before. We've had Stansbury before. I don't remember those other ones in 4A, but definitely welcome those two back. We've had Spanish, from Region 8, we've had Spanish Fork, Salem Hills,
Payson, Provo.
We've had a few of those in 4A before too. So again, we welcome those guys back. Now here's 4A Region 11. Okay. And it's pretty much the same. Bear River, Green Canyon, Logan, Mountain Crest, Ridgeline, and Skyview.
Yeah.
And then we are back to Region 9. And Caden, go.
Region 9, Cedar, Crimson Cliffs, Desert Hills, Dixie, Hurricane, Pineview, Snow Canyon. Same schools as you're used to. Nobody's moving around. Do you think Canyon View's missing being with those guys, or do you think they're just happy being in 3A?
You know what? I think they are happy with 3A.
I think so too. I mean, why not?
Yeah. So we're going from 13 teams to 27.
It's a lot.
It's going to be
a lot.
It's going to be more difficult to win a state championship game. Now that being said, I can tell you whether it was 13 teams like it is right now,
mm-hmm.
or 27 teams like it's going to be next year, I do believe that Desert Hills would have won a state football championship.
They were pretty good.
They were good.
They were pretty good.
I do believe that Crimson Cliffs would have won the baseball championship.
I also agree.
Yeah.
By the way, I just wanted to point out. So again, we mentioned that it's a little different between football and all the other sports.
Yes.
So for example, like Spanish Fork is not in 4A for all. They're in 5A for everything but football. Football they dropped to 4A. So this is everything except for football. For those who are curious,
yeah.
Region 8 is Mountain View, Orem, Payson, Provo, Timpanogos, and Uinta.
Mm-hmm.
And then Region 11 stays the same. Region 9 stays the same. The Region 10 is Cottonwood, Hillcrest, Jordan, Murray, Park City, Stansbury, and Tooele. So those are the schools that are coming in for anything other than football. Spanish Fork is there for football. And I think they're the only ones that come down a notch. I think that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from what I can tell, I'm pretty sure that's the only one.
Well, and the funny thing too is you add in Region 9, you add Utah Arts Academy and Vista School, but those are for activities only. I think that's for
that's more for if you're doing academic things.
Like drama and stuff like that.
Yeah, and drama,
I mean, I don't know.
There's different things. You can have music competitions and debate and
stuff
that kind of stuff. So when it comes to more the class stuff, the clubs, those kinds of things,
yeah,
that's where it comes into play. So it's not going to affect sports at all.
Right.
It will affect activities.
Those activities
that are still sanctioned through the UHSAA.
Yeah,
in some way.
So we will welcome all of those new schools into 4A, welcome them back, or just welcome them for the first time if they're coming into 4A. Now, it's going to be more difficult going back to my earlier statement because, when you take just 13 teams, 2 regions, Region 10, Region 11, as it sits currently, there's really only 3 teams, maybe 4 teams in each region that were legit possible state champions. So you only had to go through about 5 or 6 teams to legit.
Yeah.
Now you're going to have to go through 13, 14 teams.
Yeah.
Of legit competition.
Yeah. I mean, you're right about that. there's something that we were talking about. Maybe we can get to it coming up at the beginning of the next break. For just a second. There's a question I want to ask you. We just don't really have the time to get to it in this one.
Perfect.
Surrounding exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, let's do it.
So just remind me, coming up next, we're going to be talking about playoffs with the new format for the state of Utah and UHSA. So stick around. More coming up next. Top of the hour here on From the Bleachers.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Media is everywhere. It's a part of our daily life, our routine, not just for entertainment, but to stay informed. Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, we believe in delivering free, fast, and accurate local news, entertainment, and information to all of Southern Utah through our entertaining on-air personalities and music, compelling local shows, and community events like the City of St. George 4th of July celebration and charitable events like Coney Corns for Kids. From our entire team of dedicated designers, videographers, salespeople, digital marketers, writers, and on-air talent, thank you for letting us be a part of your daily life. Canyon Media, here for you.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Hey, it's Caden Formaster.
And Mark Musgrave, the voice you know with the Fan Sports Network.
Check out our local sports radio show, From the Bleachers, live every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Listen to us on the radio on 99.5 or 95.3 FM.
You can also listen through the Fan Sports Network app or watch the show live on the Fan Sports Network YouTube page.
The Fan Sports Network is your home of Utah Tech Trailblazers, high school sports, and the pros.
The Fan Sports Network, Southern Utah's home for local sports. Welcome back in, everybody. It's from the Bleachers here on the Fan Sports Network. Caden Formaster, Mark Musgrave.
The voice you know.
Welcome back in, top of the hour, 5 o'clock here, broadcasting from the Findlay Hyundai studios. It's good to be back. You know, baseball was fun for the week, but it's good to be back.
It really was a fun week, and it is good to be back in the studio, in the Fan Sports Network studio.
We got to get used to it, though, because we're probably not leaving
now
for a while. For a while.
We are here for a while for sure, all through summer, where we are going to have some fun. Don't get us wrong.
We're going to have some great fun.
But we're going to have to dig and claw for some summer content. Is always a little bit more difficult than August through May content because, well, we just don't have that high school content leader that we like to lead with here on the Fan Sports Network because we want to put your kids first.
That's right.
And then we will talk about Aaron Rodgers, Mookie Betts, LeBron James, who's down 3-0, by the way. Dang it.
LeBron James.
We'll talk about NBA in a little bit, though.
I got a smile on my
face. I know you do. I know you do. Hey, it's not over yet.
It's as good as over.
Hey, before
we'll
we get to that question that I'm going to remind you to ask.
Yes.
Have you seen the movie Air yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
I still want to. I just haven't.
I did watch it yesterday. It's on Prime now, so you don't have to go to the theater. It's probably already gone anyways, but it's on Prime already.
Okay.
So if you have Prime, go ahead and look it up. You know what? It's really good. And I actually, you know, it's so funny. Our GM here was an intern at Nike when he was up in the Oregon, you know, playing for the Oregon Ducks and stuff like that.
But then this was like early 2000s.
Yes. Yeah. And but he has a lot of contacts there. He knows. And I just texted him last night. I was like, how close is this movie to it? And he goes, I haven't seen it yet. But he did say, he goes, and obviously it's a movie. They take some liberties, that kind of thing, to make it more entertaining. But he goes, it's kind of the way it went down. It's a really good movie how, you know, they took Michael Jordan from, I mean, he was about ready to sign with Adidas.
Yeah.
You know, and took Michael Jordan away from Adidas. Converse was kind of in the play. They were in the play, but it was Adidas that he wanted to. And do you know why he wanted to wear Adidas?
My guess is because someone else was wearing Adidas.
Well, Adidas was cool.
Or they gave him a good contract. I don't know.
It was because he wanted to wear their warm-up suits.
Oh.
Because they, you know, the three lines,
the three stripes,
the three stripes, you know, very popular in that culture, you know, break dancing and all that that type of culture.
Adidas was a big part of the 80s hip-hop scene,
But yeah, it's a good movie. I certainly recommend it.
Now,
definitely.
So I will say I saw a clip that was just like posted on YouTube of it's a phone call between Matt Damon's character and Michael Jordan's mom in the movie.
Yeah.
And she's just like, I've looked over your proposal. I really like it. There's one thing. It might just be a clerical error, but I just want to make sure, you know, that this is correct. And they go on this conversation about Michael receiving a percentage of the sales of the shoe.
Yeah.
And there's this whole conversation about, oh, well, you know, I know you don't know the business, but that's just not how we do things.
Right.
And how many conversations have been had where it's like, I know you don't know the business, but that's not how we do things. And then eventually someone is just like, you know what? Yeah, we'll do it. We'll change the mold, right?
Yeah.
And then the mold is forever changed.
And do you know how much he makes today, Michael Jordan, annually because of that deal? Do you know how much he makes?
I have no idea. No. I'm sure it says in the movie, right? At the end or something. I bet it gives the number.
Yeah. Do you want to know?
Yeah, I'd love to know.
It's kind of sickening.
It's probably in the millions, if not billions range. I'm sure it's high.
$400 million annually.
Oh, yeah, $500 million.
Because
just shy of $500 million.
Because of Mrs. Jordan's thought on that. Like, he wants a percentage.
And it was a small percentage. It's not like, hey, I want 50%.
And I think the number was like $4 billion in gross Air Jordan sales annually.
Wow.
$4 billion. That was a pretty good get by Nike.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, think about even with the NBA right now, they have every NBA team has a Fly logo jersey, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not the Nike swoosh jersey. It is Michael Jordan on every single team's jersey. The Jazz have it. Everyone has it, right?
Yeah.
And it's like it's their specialty jersey, right? And so I mean, he's made his mark on the game of basketball. I would dare say he's made his mark on the game of basketball more so than any other player.
Oh, yeah.
When it comes to the merchandise of it.
Yeah.
At least that side, if not just in general.
You know, it was funny, too, a part of the movie where, you know, NBA had its regulations on what shoes had to look like 90% white or 80% white.
Yeah.
Okay?
And there was a lot of red.
Yeah, there was a lot of red
in the shoe.
And Nike, to Phil Knight's kind of disgrin. What's that word?
I don't know.
Like he doesn't want to do it.
I know. Yeah.
Disgrin.
Something like that.
Yeah. I've been out of high school a long time. Anyway, he didn't want to do this, but Vaccaro, who's Matt Damon's character, said that they would pay the $5,000 fine each game that the NBA imposed on Michael Jordan for not having a shoe that conformed to their regulations,
which had to be like 80-something%
Yeah.
white, right?
Yeah,
And it was like 60%
which
white.
is why Converse, they had Bird and Magic and Dr. J, and their shoes, I will say, I mean, as a youth growing up at that time, not once, and Magic Johnson was my favorite player, okay?
Yeah.
Not once did I say, oh my gosh, I've got to get a pair of Converse because Magic Johnson wears them. I just didn't. But I did have Jordan's 1.0.
Just because it was a cool shoe.
They were cool.
It was
looking
colorful.
shoe. Yes.
It had color.
Yes.
And now,
man, do I wish I had those still.
I wonder what happened since when they overturned that rule that they were like, hey, we don't care, just wear shoes.
David Stern and Michael Jordan. David Stern was a big Michael Jordan guy.
Yeah.
So, because he knew the gravy train.
He knew what he had.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll bet it wasn't long after that they changed that.
Yeah, I would love to know the year. I mean, it's a quick Google search. I'll just have to look it up one of these days.
But it was interesting that they said they would pay the fine, and Phil Knight's like, wait, what? We're going to do what? It was a pretty good part of the movie.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting to see the behind the scenes of the business of more than just the NBA, because it's partial NBA, partial shoe company, right?
Yeah.
Seeing the business deals on both sides and why you can or cannot do certain things. Like, for example, like you mentioned, the color of a shoe.
It was funny. They had a board, just like a whiteboard or a chalkboard. Actually, at that time, it was a chalkboard. They had a chalkboard up with names on it, like who are they going to target? So they couldn't target Hakeem Olajuwon and Sam Bowie because they had already committed to Converse or Adidas or whoever. Michael Jordan, the third pick of the draft, he hadn't fully decided, but he was definitely going Adidas. But it hadn't been signed yet, hadn't been closed. Then they were talking about other players, like John Stockton was in that group. Charles Barkley was in that group. Terrence, you won't remember this name. Terrence Stansberry. You remember that name at all?
No, I don't.
He was actually a pretty good dunker. Like, he was in those dunk competitions with Michael, Spud, Dominique, and stuff like that. But he never really panned out to be a great basketball player by any means. But there were some really good basketball players that went on to have Hall of Fame careers that were on that board, and it was kind of fun to watch. In fact, they kind of made fun of Gonzaga. Like, they're like, where is Gonzaga? And they were in Beaverton, Oregon.
And they're in Oregon.
Gonzaga
they're
wasn't
like right
far,
there.
Yeah, Gonzaga wasn't far away, but they still didn't know about it. And truthfully, until John Stockton came out of Gonzaga, I don't think anybody knew about it.
Yeah, I think you're right about that.
But it was kind of funny. They did kind of play a little joke on, kind of joke
Poking
around
fun.
about that. Yeah,
Poking fun.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny though. That's pretty funny. By the way, I just looked it up, and I haven't found any like strict definitive. This is when it happened, but in the early 2000s, they basically
that long?
In the early 2000s they made it. The rule was that your shoes had to match the jersey.
Okay,
as long as it matched the jersey color. Then in 2018, so very recently,
oh my gosh,
was when they said we don't care what shoe you wear, you can wear whatever. And they finally in 2018 lifted that restriction.
Okay,
they're saying that players can wear whatever color of shoe they want.
You may have to look a little bit deeper into that at some point. Maybe not today, But I'd like to know a little bit more about that. So when Michael was wearing his Jordans, was he getting fined all those years? Not just games, but all those years? I'd like to know about that.
Yeah, I don't know. I got to look into it a little bit deeper. But, yeah, from what I'm seeing is they had something that was called the 51% rule, which was the 51% white in accordance with what the rest of the team was wearing. So that was the rule up until 2000.
Wow.
So at some point it changed. Now, it does talk about how in 1984 that was when this whole thing happens.
Yeah.
Like aired, that's when that takes place. It's 1984. It seems to me, from what this article does not explain that side of the story very well that I'm seeing, and this is on Yahoo, by the way. But it does talk about how there was a 51% rule, which is basically like, hey, as long as it matches the uniform, and it's 51% white, that's what they were hoping for, is the 51% white, then they were fine. But it's since changed to what it is now, which changed just very recently in 2018. So we're only talking 5 years ago.
And, if you think back on those Converse, I was bringing up Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and Dr. J. The only thing that set those shoes apart with those players was they were all white, but yet the 3 stripes were the color of their team. Magic's
purple
Magic's
or yellow or whatever.
And Bird's were green, and then Dr. J's was red. And that's what swayed Mrs. Jordan, because she made the decisions.
Yeah.
And that movie
she was the business manager of it
that
all.
movie was very clear on who made those decisions. And the thing that she liked was what set Nike apart from Adidas was this shoe was going to have his name on it, Air Jordan.
Yeah, it said Jordan on it, yeah.
So that's kind of what set this apart. It looked different. It looked different than, because she brought up in the meeting, so my son is going to be like number 4, because you got Bird, Magic, and Dr. J, and he's going to be like the 4th, kind of get lost in the shuffle. And Adidas really didn't have a good answer that certainly convinced her what was going to go. Nike, they were all in on one player, and that was Michael Jordan. Changed the shoe business forever.
Yeah.
Amazing. It's a really good movie.
And they're still all in on the Jordans.
Absolutely.
I don't think there's another player that I would say they went all in on. I mean, sure, Kobe and LeBron have had good shoe deals. I'd say those two are probably the next ones up. Like Kobe shoes are great shoes.
Yeah, Kobe's are good.
And I've never worn LeBron. I don't know.
I don't think I've. Let's see. Have I had a Kobe? I think I have had a pair of Kobe's. I haven't had a pair of LeBrons. I've had several pair of Jordans, though. Again, the first version, Jordan's 1.
Yeah, but then you have like Steph's with Under Armour. I mean, everybody has a shoe deal. Donovan Mitchell with Adidas, right? Like everyone has their shoe deals, and some guys even get their own shoe. Like there's a lot of guys where they get money from a shoe company to only wear that shoe. And most of the time, we don't even know what those deals are. Like the casual fan of a team, you might be like, oh yeah, hey, that player is with that shoe. You just kind of know it, but they're not getting their own signature shoe. Some players are, but nobody to the level of Michael Jordan.
Right.
It's insane. All right, let's backtrack a little bit. I want to talk about something before we get to our next segment.
Okay.
And this is backtracking to high school sports and talking about UHSAA and the realignment for the upcoming couple of seasons. So there are 27 teams that are going to be in 4A. Now, up until this point, there have been other classifications, 5A, 6A, for example, that have had a lot of teams.
Right.
Talking 30-plus teams or whatever, and schools. So how do they plan on doing playoffs? And I ask this not fully knowing to start off, but knowing that there's close to 30 teams that are going to be participating against each other in any given sport, I'm not sure I'm the biggest fan of all of these teams participating in the playoffs. I think the playoffs, in my mind, playoffs are reserved for the teams that are the best ones to be there.
And you know that you're not going to get any argument.
Preaching to the choir, right?
Yeah.
So historically, through what we've had recently, I mean, it's only been 13 teams, so all 13 teams went to the playoffs. Okay, whatever.
Stupid.
But to me, I'm like, take the top 4 teams from any given region in whatever the sport is, and put those 4 teams against. There's 4 regions, 4 teams. That gives you 16 teams.
and you're set. You're golden.
Yeah.
I like that way of doing it, but that's just me.
I do too. I think there needs to be some sort of, some sort of a bracket play where, if we're going to have, what did we say, 27 teams? Is
27.
that what we said?
Yep.
27 teams. Like, legitimately, how many of those teams have a legitimate shot of winning a state championship? Now, yes, people are going to say, well, you're always going to get your wild card that, look at the NFL, the Giants have done it, and other teams.
Look what the Heat are doing right now as an 8th seed. Yeah.
And I get that. I really do. And I'm okay with those teams. I'm okay with those. That's why we're going to widen this. So you got 27 teams. I'm with you. I like the 16 to 18 teams. I think even 20 is too much. I don't think
I agree.
I don't think seed 19, 20, 21, 22, and obviously higher have any chance of winning a state championship. No chance. Any chance.
There's no chance.
So why? I mean, just why? So instead of everybody getting a trophy, everybody getting to get to the playoffs, I'm with you, Caden. I hope there's a formula. I tried to look for the 2023-24 fall brackets for football or volleyball. I couldn't find them on the UHSAA site. They may not even have them on there yet, but I would like to know that as well. I was looking at the 5A from this year. Now, they had 32 teams.
And that'd be a good look at what's a potential of happening.
They had 32 teams, 24 teams in the playoffs. They probably had the top 4 bye, and then they had 10 teams play in that first round.
Yeah.
For, 20 teams, 10 games.
I'm looking at 5A right now for baseball.
Mm-hmm.
They have 24 teams.
Okay, which was the same as football.
Yeah, so, and I assume that's just how many's in 5A then, I guess. 24 teams.
Well, they had 32 teams in football.
Okay, so so 24 have made it. 8 get a bye.
Okay.
That's a lot, though.
I know
that's so many.
That is. So the top 2 in each region?
So basically what happens is your top
or the
8,
RPI.
It's RPI.
RPI.
Your top 8, based off the RPI, get a bye.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bottom 16 and the next 16 after that, they all fight each other. Whoever wins will move on, and they will face whatever team got the bye.
Yeah.
So, for example, like Olympus was the number 1 seed. They faced the winner of 16-17, which was Box Elder and Woods Cross.
Yeah.
Right? Funny enough, by the way, Woods Cross is the 17 seed, beat Olympus as the 1 seed, and so they moved on. But then again, there you go. A 17 seed beating the 1 seed to move on.
That is nuts. That is nuts.
So, those kinds of things happen.
Like I said, I'm okay with going to, if we're going to have 27 teams for football, I'm okay with 16 to 18. I think anything above 18, just too many. Yeah. Too many. You've got to make the regular season count. And, when every team goes to the playoffs, now granted, you may not be hosting a game, but I just think that's too many.
I agree.
I don't think everybody should get there. And again, I know we're not trying to convince each other because we're both in the same boat, but yeah, just way too many. And I think I would have to say 90%, if not more, of our listeners and viewers would agree with us. Like,
yeah,
they don't think that everybody should get a trophy. Maybe there's a few of you out there that do. And if you do think that way, bless your heart. That's the nicest thing I'm going to say. It's also the meanest thing I'm going to say.
It's very passive aggressive, is what that is. That's a passive aggressive way.
But not everybody deserves to go to the playoffs.
I agree. You know how I feel about the NBA going to their play-in tournament.
I don't like that either.
It's kind of dumb. Just take your top 8 and move on.
Yes.
Why do you need to give the 10th place team, 10th out of 15, by the way, why are you giving the 10th place team out of 15 even a chance?
Well,
just don't even worry about it.
And I know on the NBA side, it's all about the dollar.
It is.
And maybe it's that way on the high school side too. But then again, I got to think it's also costing these districts money. Like
travel.
When we send when we send our number 7 team, our last place team, I'm not going to name any schools, but our last place
depends
team.
on the sport.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Up to Logan to face their best team.
Yeah. To face their number 4 team because there's usually buys and stuff.
And you know they're going to go up there and get their butts handed to them. But yet there's a school bus driver. There's wear and tear on the bus.
Maybe even an overnight stay.
Fuel. There could be a hotel room. I mean, so that costs the district money, the school money, where, again, should they even be in the playoffs? Probably not.
Yeah, I agree. And especially in sports like baseball and softball, where they're not charging tickets,
right,
to make up for some of those costs.
Right.
It's you just show up to
during the playoffs they do.
Yes, but not at the home sites.
Correct.
So if it's a super regional, it still isn't accomplishing anything.
You're right. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll know come August.
And it might be a little different for what football brings, but football, basketball, baseball, they could all be different. And then you have those sports like wrestling. That's going to be different because you have personal and then you have the teams. And, some of those sports like that, cross country is going to be a little different. We're mostly talking about the team sports.
My goodness, Jason Baum, he's going to have to wrap his head around 2 more regions and about 14 more schools to know about their wrestlers.
I think we're going to have to do it for a lot.
Gosh.
Yeah, it's crazy. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, let's hop into the NBA playoffs a little bit, shall we? That's next. Stick around on From the Bleachers.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Media is everywhere. It's a part of our daily life, our routine. Not just for entertainment, but to stay informed. Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, we believe in delivering free, fast, and accurate local news, entertainment, and information to all of Southern Utah through our entertaining on-air personalities and music, compelling local shows, and community events like the City of St. George 4th of July celebration and charitable events like Coney Coins for Kids. From our entire team of dedicated designers, videographers, salespeople, digital marketers, writers, and on-air talent, thank you for letting us be a part of your daily life. Canyon Media, here for you.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Hey, it's Caden Formaster.
And Mark Musgrave, the voice you know with the Fan Sports Network.
Check out our local sports radio show, From the Bleachers, live every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Listen to us on the radio on 99.5 or 95.3 FM.
You can also listen through the Fan Sports Network app or watch the show live on the Fan Sports Network YouTube page.
The Fan Sports Network is your home of Utah Tech Trailblazers, high school sports, and the pros.
The Fan Sports Network, Southern Utah's home for local sports.
Welcome back in, everybody. It's From the Bleachers here on the Fan Sports Network, broadcasting live out of the Findlay Hyundai studio. Caden Formaster and Mark Musgrave.
The voice you know.
All right, Mark, let's hop into NBA playoffs. Finally stepping away from the local stuff for a little. You know, we talked a lot of local today, but it's a good thing.
Yeah, that's what we do. We lead with local because we are your leader in local high school sports, the Fan Sports Network.
That's right.
Nobody beats us.
That's right.
No, can I use that, or is that patented?
You know, I'll call Justin. I can give him a phone call. I got his number saved. I'll call him up and be like, "Hey, Justin,
I don't want to get any
you good?
You know, yeah, exactly.
You don't want trademarks?
I don't want to get any trademark violations.
Oh man,
shoot.
He deserves a free shout out after that.
Absolutely.
The mattress store.
Go ahead.
There you go.
You got it.
Go talk to Justin. No, I've told him that before, that I'm like, dude, because I help him record his ads and stuff when he comes in. So, and that's one of the privileges I get here at the radio station, is I get to meet a lot of our advertisers and stuff like that, and great people. Justin's one of my favorites. There was a moment when, because I got divorced, got remarried, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that in between time. And again, he's just one of these guys that we just have good conversations. And he's like, I know somebody. I'm like, Justin, you don't need to set me up on dates, buddy.
Yeah.
And he's just like, I'm just saying.
Especially not now.
Yeah, especially not now.
No, now. No.
Anyways, he's a great guy. Well, let's hop into it. The NBA playoffs happening. And Denver leads 3-0. Miami leads 3-0. And never in the history of the NBA playoffs has a team ever come back from being down 3-0.
Let alone two teams.
Let alone we got two teams right now with the 3-0. So if one of those teams, if the Lakers come back, if the Celtics come back, it will be the first time ever that's happened.
Give me a break. Now, if anybody ever says that there's conspiracy theories out there, the NBA kind of controls who gets into
rigged.
Being rigged. This will prove it wrong, because there is no way in the world, that the NBA wants to see the Nuggets and the Heat in an NBA championship. They would have much rather had Lakers, Celtics, with all that history behind all those backstories behind those teams. Bigger markets.
Yeah.
There is no way in the world that there's any conspiracy theories going on, any rigged games going on. Now, if one or both of these teams come back from a 3-0 and 1-4-3, then we can have that discussion again.
We get back into the talks of it all, because it very well could be, if we're going to be honest.
Exactly.
No, it so far has been, it's been all Denver, it's been all Miami, and I will say this about Denver Lakers: it's been pretty close games for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Denver just knows how to win games. They do. It's just that simple. They can pull out a win, and they can put on the stop, right? Miami, their last game was just a blowout. I mean, that game, I feel like that wasn't even close.
Right.
They're just going out there and destroying the Celtics. They stealing those two games in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
My immediate thought, and again, we've been gone, so we haven't been able to talk about this. Taking those first two, not even mentioning the fact that they are now 3 wins up. Those first 2 wins, I was like, this series is over. Miami's moving on to the finals.
Yeah.
And then this last game, game 3, I'm just like, yep. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, they're done for. Sorry, Celtic fans, but it's not happening.
Yeah, you were talking about those close games with the Lakers and the Denver Nuggets. It's, the first game, game 1 was 132 to 126.
Mm-hmm.
Second game, 108 to 103. I mean, those are close.
5-point game.
And then the last one, a little bit more, 119 to 108.
But even still, an 11-point game.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of times an 11-point game, and I don't know, I'll be honest, I didn't watch the final minutes of that game, but sometimes it can be a 5-6-point game leading up to the last couple minutes. Foul shots, they extend it out. I don't know if that was the case for that one. I'll be honest, I didn't watch the last final bit of that one. Our minds have been in a million other places in the last week.
Correct.
It's been tough to follow everything. But going back and kind of rewatching how that game unfolded, it just seemed like Denver always seemed to kind of just have
the control. It felt like they were the ones in the driver's seat. And sure, the Lakers were causing pandemonium a little bit in there, but it just seemed like Denver always had a hand where they wanted to, right? They just played their game of basketball and they won the game. And it's as simple as that.
One of the players that's taken a lot of heat is D'Angelo Russell. He's having a horrible series. In game 3, he played 20 minutes, had 3 points, made 1 field goal. So maybe, and I know in the other 2 games it wasn't much better than that. I think he has 8 total points in this series. So he's taking some heat from Laker fans and the national media for sure. Maybe you start Hachimura, who had a much better game, 33 minutes. He had 13 points, 5 of 12 field goals. So maybe he shakes up the lineup a little bit to either, get some motivation behind D'Angelo Russell, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. They got to make some coaching decisions for sure. Yeah, I just get this feeling. I mean, at this point, even if the Lakers come back and make it a 3-1 series, even if the Celtics come back and make it a 3-1 series, the series are done. I just don't see either of those teams, especially the Lakers. I'll say that.
How dare you?
Especially the Lakers. I don't see them going 4-0. The Celtics, I don't see them going 4-0. They're going up against the Heat, who are not a very highly ranked team.
No, they're not.
But the Heat just are playing with so much momentum. It's like, how do you slow that down? Jimmy Butler's insane.
Okay.
He's so far, Jimmy Butler is the MVP.
You're right.
If the Heat go on and they win the finals, Jimmy Butler is a no-doubter MVP. Because right now he's the MVP of the entire 4 teams that are left. I'd say it's him and then it's Jokic.
Here's the problem the NBA has right now. And I want your thoughts on this.
Okay.
You know me. I used to be very, very into the NBA.
Sure.
Kind of got out of it a little bit.
Yeah.
Now I would probably consider myself a casual fan.
You kind of have that 1 foot in the water. Testing the temperature a little bit. Yeah.
If it's the Nuggets and Heat, my interest level on a 1 to 10 will be a 2. The only reason why it's that high is because we have a show to do. Okay. Now, as a guy who has 2 feet in the NBA pond, what's your interest level going to be? Nuggets versus Heat.
Okay, I'll tell you this.
1 to 10.
I'm going to backtrack and say this is my interest level if it's Lakers Celtics.
Okay.
My interest level with Lakers Celtics is a 2.
See, you're in that minority though.
I don't think I am.
I think you are.
No, because here's the thing. I've talked to people in this building today.
Okay, you're talking to Jazz fans. They don't count. They're not real fans.
I was not talking to a Jazz fan, first off. So, no. With the Nuggets and the Heat, I'm interested. The Nuggets have never even been to a finals. They have a chance to make history for their franchise, not only by being there, but by winning. The Lakers, it's like, oh, cool, they won another one. I'm muting your microphone. Let me finish. Jeez. Here's the thing. You're a Lakers fan. You have a bias here.
Hey, you really did.
I really did mute your microphone.
You did mute my
I muted your microphone.
I apologize.
Here's the thing. As a Lakers fan, if you win a championship right now, is it sweet?
Sure.
Okay, but like on a scale of 1 to 10, is it like this is the best thing to happen in my life?
Again,
sweet?
because for me, we know my situation. I'm half in, half out of the NBA.
How did it feel winning that 2020 championship? You didn't care. If Denver wins a championship.
Now, last Kobe's and Pau Gasol's, I was all in.
Okay, sure. And that's fair.
Because that's when I was into the NBA.
And that's fair. That's great. Denver Nugget fans right now, and even just NBA fans, you know what? Denver is a rival of the Jazz. They're in the same division, right? I want this for Denver. I'm cheering for Denver right now through the playoffs. I want them to go, and I want them to win the finals.
I'm just telling you, even though you talk to people in this building, you guys are in the minority nationwide.
I would love to see a poll.
Nationwide.
I would love to see a poll because I really don't think.
I would love
to
see a poll, a national poll, not a Utah poll.
Yeah,
I would love to see a national poll. What people would think. Who do you want? Lakers Celtics or Heat Nuggets? I can guarantee you 80% of the people, 80% of the people, and that's lowballing.
I
would
don't
say
even think
Lakers
you're close.
Celtics.
I don't even think you're close.
I am way close.
I would love to see. Here's the thing, because now I get into stats, right? Here's what I would love to see. Because really, I bet it's generationally. Your generation.
Gen X has all the money right now.
Your generation wants to see Lakers Celtics to relive the glory days.
Amen,
hey,
brother.
Back in my day, I could throw a football over them mountains.
Amen.
You are that kind of person.
Yes.
Ours is like, we want to see something fresh. We want to see something new. We want to see something exciting. We want to see Nuggets and Heat. When I talk to people my age, and that's who I talk to. That's who I associate with.
You're so ageist.
A little bit. Everyone wants to see something new.
Talk to some of us old
fresh.
people.
We don't want to see LeBron in the finals anymore. We don't care. We don't want to see the Lakers in the finals anymore. We don't care. You know what? This Celtics team is young and exciting. People are okay with it because they also haven't won one in a while. But the Heat, it's like, okay, they've also been there, but we want it for Jimmy Butler. The Nuggets have not been there.
We are going to have to
agree
to disagree.
And exciting. Oh, 100%. Yeah, there's no way we're going to
because
agree on this
there's
one.
no way you're swaying me, and there's no way I'm swaying you. But I know I'm right. 80% is lowballing it.
No. I really don't think 80% of people want to see Lakers Celtics for the 80th time.
Yes, they do. It's the history.
It's like re-watching over and over and over again an episode of a show that's not even that good.
As Allen Iverson would say, we're talking about the Nuggets and the Heat. I mean, he says practice, but we're talking about practice. We're talking about the Nuggets and the Heat. Who cares?
I'm excited, man.
Oh, my
It'll
gosh,
be a fun one.
Caden. You are so from Enterprise.
I mean, yeah, that is true.
I'm just kidding. I love Enterprise. You know that.
I know you do. No, I don't know. We will have to agree to disagree on this one.
Oh, my goodness.
But, yeah.
Yeah, but, both down 3-0, though. I mean, as we get back to really talking about it.
The series is set. Let's be honest. The series is set. It's Nuggets Heat.
There's no question about it. So, yeah, that's going to be your NBA Finals. Denver. And wouldn't you have to think that Denver would certainly be the
They're
favorite?
The favorites. I would say Denver's the favorite.
Even though how good Miami has been playing?
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. I cannot discount Miami.
Man.
They have a legit shot. They have a legit shot of
Who's the coach of Miami?
Spoelstra.
Is he still the coach?
Oh, yeah. Eric Spoelstra's still there.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's not Pat Riley?
No.
When was he there last?
Hey, I just got a text that just says, I'm going to read. Let me pull it up.
Oh, boy.
I'm older than your partner, but I agree with you. Yes! Thank you.
Let me guess. It's somebody. No, never mind.
I'm just saying.
No, wrong.
I agree
because
with
I
me.
got a text as well that said Caden is wrong.
Well, look, we both are getting texts to each other saying that we are right and the other person's wrong.
Oh, my gosh, I got more texts.
Oh, man. I love it.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a never-ending debate. Let's be honest. Everyone's going to think that their opinion is right on this one.
Absolutely. But I will tell you, I would be willing to bet, though, seriously, and this is all seriousness.
Okay.
I would bet you that the NBA really would prefer TV ratings and stuff like that. I'm telling you.
The
it
NBA?
would be the NBA, yes.
The NBA fans.
Right.
That's a different story.
No, it's not. It's the same story.
I don't think
so. Well,
but again, that's the debate.
See how we circle right back to it?
The NBA, I can agree with you on because they want their larger markets. They want the historic matchups. They want the teams.
They want the backstories
that people have been following for the whole season. They want the LeBrons of the world, which they want to
be able to play that Magic Johnson skyhook over Kevin McHale and Larry Bird.
Yeah, they want to be able to play all those. It's a rematch of the ages kind of a thing.
Or Bill Russell versus Wilt Chamberlain. All those 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and even 2000s with Kobe and
Kobe against Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen.
Yeah.
That group. I mean, it's a matchup that's been around, and they've kind of faced off nearly every decade.
Yeah.
Close to it.
Yeah,
And it's not going to happen.
No, it's not going to happen. No.
Maybe they can get it next year, but not this year.
No.
Let's go to a break. You got to get out of here.
I do. I have whatever.
You got things.
Appointment.
You got things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At 6 o'clock. Starts at 6 o'clock, so I got to get out here a little early. But yes, Caden, you're going to hold the ship down for one more segment here on the Fan Sports Network.
That's right. Stick around.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Media is everywhere. It's a part of our daily life, our routine, not just for entertainment, but to stay informed. Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, we believe in delivering free, fast, and accurate local news, entertainment, and information to all of Southern Utah through our entertaining on-air personalities and music, compelling local shows, and community events like the City of St. George 4th of July celebration and charitable events like Coney Coins for Kids. From our entire team of dedicated designers, videographers, salespeople, digital marketers, writers, and on-air talent, thank you for letting us be a part of your daily life. Canyon Media, here for you.
Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
Hey, it's Caden Formaster.
And Mark Musgrave, the voice you know with the Fan Sports Network.
Check out our local sports radio show, From the Bleachers, live every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Listen to us on the radio on 99.5 or 95.3 FM.
You can also listen through the Fan Sports Network app or watch the show live on the Fan Sports Network YouTube page.
The Fan Sports Network is your home of Utah Tech Trailblazers, high school sports, and the pros.
The Fan Sports Network, Southern Utah's home for local sports.
Caden Formaster here on the Fan Sports Network. Mark's got to head out, so just me hanging out with you now. Now, we, earlier today, we were able to catch up with the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs and talk about their run at the playoffs and their championship wins. So, for the remainder of the show today, if you missed that part of the show, we're going to play back as much as we can from that interview with those guys. So, yeah, it should be fun. We had a great time hanging out with them, talking to them, and getting their thoughts on the win. So, without further ado, let's hop into it. Here is from earlier today in the show, me and Mark talking with the Crimson Cliffs Mustangs. Well, you know, we got a bunch of guys in the studio with us, and so we're still off our game from being gone all week, but you know who's not off their game are these guys.
Yeah.
These guys are at the top of their game right now.
They were certainly on their game Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you were on your game.
Tuesday through.
We'll talk about Monday in a little bit. We're not going to let you guys forget that, but you guys were definitely on your game Tuesday through Saturday. So
Yeah, they were. Well, we have the state champion. Well, some of the state champion for a baseball Crimson Cliffs Mustangs with us. So,
yes. Back to back.
I know, back to back champ. How's it feel, guys? Who wants to hop on the mic first?
Let's get PD on over here.
Okay, PD, hop on over here,
and then we'll get Aaron on this one as well.
All right. Two guys on the mic.
Yeah.
PD, Aaron, both of you guys. Great tournament, of course. PD, let's go with you. How's it feel? Back to back state championships.
Oh my God! You can ask anyone this. It feels amazing. Like back to back. It's hard to do, you know.
Now, as you guys come up to the mic too, I want you guys to tell us where you are playing next level baseball. PD, where are you going?
Utah Tech.
Not too far, huh?
Rosers, yeah. Staying in town, close to family, close to my fans.
Yeah.
Close to Mark.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I'll be there. I'll be there for sure. And you've got a teammate here right next to you.
Aaron.
Yep.
Yeah, Aaron. Now, last time you were in here, you were going somewhere else.
Yeah, I was going out to California at Cal State Monterey Bay.
And I was so excited for you because there are some gorgeous golf courses out that way. I was so excited for you, Aaron. Mm-hmm. But I'm even more excited now, even selfishly, now I get to watch you play a little bit longer.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people have told me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta be excited about that. Hey, I want to ask PD a question real quick. PD, how did it feel hitting that triple in the championship game?
Oh, it was sick, especially being my last at bat. Wasn't as good as Brexton's being a home run, but
we'll get to Brexton a little bit. Yeah,
it felt good hitting that triple.
The celebration was good. Hey, tell me where the hammer came from.
Coach Boyer.
Coach Boyer. Boyer saw a video, I think, on social media.
What was our first one at the beginning of the season?
Our wave.
Yeah. First kept it from last season.
So you were gonna just wave.
Last year we had the wave.
Last year we had the wave, and we kept that for a little bit, and then Boyer wanted to change it up, and then he found the hammer video.
Yeah. So what it is for our listeners and our viewers is if you got a double or a triple or whatever, they would act like they're swinging a hammer, and then the guys on the bench would all kind of boom all at the same time. Mm-hmm. Kind of fun. Is any other sport as fun as baseball? Now, are there any multi-sport players in here? No football players?
Like real sport or like
real, yeah. Yeah,
soccer?
Used to be. Soccer's not a real sport. Good try, Petey. No, but there's really nothing more fun than baseball, right?
Oh, yeah.
The antics in the dugout, right?
Mm-hmm. I think that's probably one of the funnest part that we can bond in the dugout, and we can have fun and keep it like on ourselves and cheer on our players in our own way.
How do you guys handle all of those personalities in one dugout together to be able to just come together and say, hey, we're here for one purpose? Do you guys ever just have to try to like smack people around and say, hey, get in line, you know, like you're just be part of the team, or do you guys mesh pretty well?
I feel like, a little bit, yeah. Like maybe some people just aren't focused all the time, but at the end of the day, we all have the same goal to compete, win, and go out and win the state championship like we did.
Yeah, because that's obviously going to be a big part of winning a championship is making sure that the mentality's there, and that's always a big part of it. You guys have won 2 in a row, so the culture's built. You guys have it locked and loaded.
So, Aaron, as a pitcher, and Javen, I'll talk to you in a minute too as a pitcher, but talk to me about this lineup that you don't have to face. Okay, let me just kind of go over some of these numbers. McKay Wright, 463 average. Petey Soto Jr., 500. 500. My hell. Jager Baldwin, 419.
Dog.
Brexton Stardy, 465.
Dog.
Tate Maynard, 313. Steele Barbin, not as big of sample size, but still 417. Let's see, scroll down here a little bit. There's a Ty West, 422. Ty Evans, against a small sample size, but you know that he is a great hitter. He batted 412, pretty much just in the tournament. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So tremendous state tournament for Ty Evans, or for Trey Evans. Thank you. And then Ty Maynard, batting 427. Aaron, are you glad you didn't have to face this lineup?
So I might not have ever faced them in a real game, but I face them every week in live at bats. And I couldn't get this one out. And if I did get him out, it was probably 100 miles an hour off the bat, line drive to center.
Yeah.
It's tough. Like, facing him every week, it definitely got me better just throwing to competitive pitches to competitive batters that, would put the ball in play instead of just taking.
So you had a .20 ERA. That's 0.20 ERA for our listeners and our viewers. Would you have had that ERA if you were at Snow Canyon, Desert Hills, Pine View, facing this team?
I don't think so, because I also wouldn't have had the defense that we had. I would have had Brexton, Tyler behind the plate, defense. Jager, Tyler in the outfield, and PD at short. Like I wouldn't have had the support behind me to.
But you know what?
Get that.
I think you would have had a very similar ERA because you went up against some really good hitting teams. Snow Canyon, they were no slouch when it came to hitting the ball. I mean, their team average, I think, was close to 400.
It's pretty close, yeah.
And so that was their team average. You guys were a little bit above them, but not by much. Dixie had a great hitting team. Desert Hills was pretty good as well. I mean, you faced some really good hitters. And let me just throw this out here. So these are Aaron's numbers, and this is why he's going to stay here as a Trailblazer. He was 6-0 this year. He had 12 appearances, 1 save, and like I said, a .20 ERA. That is tremendous. That's Cy Youngish, Aaron Morris.
It's up there. That's
Cy
up there.
Youngish.
Let's talk about, and we got the clip of it pulled up, the last out that led you guys to a state championship. So let you take a look up here, and then we have our viewers on YouTube that are able to watch it as well. Here's that final pitch, grounder to third. Tell me what that feeling's like, guys.
Chills.
Yes.
You can see.
Everyone dogpiles. Who's on the bottom there? Who had to get it?
Hopefully it wasn't. I was gonna say, hopefully it wasn't Javen in that left arm. We got to protect that thing.
If you roll, I was somewhere in the middle. No, if you roll that clip back, you can see me get absolutely demolished by the hole. I got cleated actually. My foot was swollen.
Did you really?
Yeah.
That's rough.
Now, Petey, before you step away from the mic, and then we'll get Jager, Javen, and Brexton on. So Petey, this is you, okay? 500 batting average. You had 42 hits, 41 runs, 29 RBIs, 14 doubles, 2 triples, and 3 dingers. What? I'm going to go a little personal here with you, okay? What would your dad say about those numbers?
He said it's not good enough.
That's a true dad and a true coach, right?
If you know my dad, you know.
Yes. Yeah. But he would have been awfully proud, though.
He would have definitely been
absolutely. Petey, you are Devin and I and Caden. We all three have talked amongst our broadcasts and things that we think that you are the smoothest shortstop that we've seen in Region 9, Region 10 for a very long time. And that doesn't go unnoticed because we've had a lot of good
ones.
Shortstops. In fact, the older brother to this guy right here, Aaron Morris. So, I mean, there's been some great shortstops here in Region 9, Region 10. And just to be in that conversation, true compliment to you, sir.
That's why his nickname's El Suave.
That's it.
The nickname of El Suave.
Yeah, Javen says his nickname's El Suave. Hey, Jager, hop on here. And Javen, you hop on here as well. Jager, you had several of our Morgan Pest Control player of the game. In fact, we've got one right here.
Let's pull it up here. And I think you already know which one we're talking about. The diving catch.
With the shoulder.
Yeah,
with the bum shoulder. Yeah.
So, Jager, as you're running towards that foul line, what's going through your head?
Or at this point, I knew that I was going to be close to the fence, but I didn't know how far I had. And at the point, when it was falling, I knew I had to dive, and I was just hoping the fence wasn't there.
Yeah, because that was going to be a fair ball, too.
Yeah.
That was going to land fair. That would have been a double, maybe even a triple for Yates. Yates has good speed, so that very well could have been extra bases for sure, and that could have changed the dynamics of that game.
Yeah, I'll do anything for this team, and I'll lay my life on the line for them.
So I've seen a lot more than this, but I've seen 3 magnificent catches from Jager Baldwin. The first one was last year extra inning game against Desert Hills. You took a home run back. You took it. It was over the wall.
Oh,
brought
I was
it
there.
back.
Yeah,
brought it back.
It was a good one.
And then this catch that we just showed, and then you had a great catch in the championship game, sliding in.
All right, we gonna pause that one right there. We are wrapping up the show for today. If you want to go catch the rest of that interview, you can do so over on the Fan Sports Network. Just pull up this live stream where you can watch that interview back or listen to it. But thank you for joining us on the show today. Have a good one, everybody. We'll be with you tomorrow. Tomorrow, we got some good guests coming into the studio as well. Some other state champions here in Region 10. So until then, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you tomorrow.